Hello and welcome everybody. Look, I just want to take a very short moment of your time and just talk to you today about decision making. And this is for people who, you might be feeling stuck or you're overthinking or like struggling to make the decisions. And why is that? Right? I want to show you three simple mindset shifts to help you stop waiting and start moving forward with confidence. And the reason I feel this is really important is because this was me, right? Avoiding making decisions keeps you stuck. When you make decisions, whether they be the right ones or ones that aren't so right, the fact is you've still made a decision. You have been able to move forward and you are then progressing into a different stage, a different level of where you are personally and where you may be like within your business. So these are important, and the reason why I want to make them clear for people is because I don't want to see people get stuck. For far too long I've been in that position, and all it does is it holds you up. But if you're doing things for your family, for your loved ones, your why, it's holding that back as well. And you want to be able to finish there. You want to be able to move to that upper level. So other talks coming up will be about mindset more specifically and different frequencies, different vibrations and things like that. But today is just really important about decisions and making them. And if you're not making them, then this is the first point I want to bring forward is you're making decisions by default, right? And by that I mean, if you do not make a decision, life makes one for you. And sometimes that may not be the one that you actually wanted, and you're unhappy about that, and you feel that you're not moving forward, you are spinning your wheel. So it's important to understand that the time that when you make a decision, that comes from you. The reason why you're making that is because you're going to move forward. You're going to progress to that next stage. I don't know anybody who wants to make a decision to go back to, put themselves in a worse position. You want to change things for yourself. You want to make things a better situation for yourself, for your family, for your friends, whoever, for that person that you're working with. And to do that, you've got to make decisions. So many people think that by not deciding is a safe way, right? They're playing it safe. They don't want to be seen that they've made a mistake or that they've failed or something like that. And this is a bad way of doing things. Maybe bad is not the right word, but it's not the way that you should do things, right? You've got to understand that for you to be able to move forward, that decision's got to come from within you, not from some outer region, not from, what are people going to think about me? People are going to think whatever they want to think about you. The way that you make that decision is not going to change that. But you've got to make sure that you're making the right decision for you. So staying in the same job or the same financial situation, the same habits, that's still a decision. It's just a decision by default because you're too frightened to move into that new area because it's the unknown. You know what is happening around you at the moment. It may not be the best situation for you, but that's your comfort zone. It's your cozy corner. And you might be miserable in there, but you think that that's a better place to be than you making the decision of moving out of there. And you've got to be able to look at things like, well, 5 years from now, most people are living the result of the decisions that they never consciously made. So picture yourself, where do you want to be in 12 months' time, in 2 years' time, in 5 years' time? Now, if you don't make a decision about that now, what you are creating now, chances are that's going to be exactly the same in 12 months, 2 years, 5 years from now, with the little differences, okay? But to actually make a huge difference in your life, you're going to have to make those tough decisions and move forward. Move out of that area where you're at that's holding you back and move into that newer area, that newer level of yourself, that new even identity, the way, see who you want to be and be that person now, right? And this takes us on to that next stage, clarity. Okay, clarity comes after action, not before. You're not going to get clarity before you make that decision. Most people wait until they feel 100% certain before moving. That's certainly, that really comes first. Normally, generally, people make that decision and the clouds disappear. Things are clearer for them. They're able to progress to their next level. They're able to move forward and do what they want to do because now they have clarity. They don't have all that noise around them that is disturbing them, distracting them from where they want to be. Now, in today's world, we have lots of noise. We're getting adverts thrown in front of us all the time. There's lots of people out there, do this, do that, try this. This is something new. The new shiny object syndrome. There's lots of that going around all the time. And society has always kept us busy and showing us different things that, for want of a better word, manipulating us to be able to do this or do that. But when you think about what is it that you really want to do, how is it that you really want to be, you need to show up like that now. Because that person is attracting all those things that you want. The person who is in the lack mindset or frustration or in fear is attracting more of that. And this is where you don't want to be. So have a look at that, where you are. Because people stay stuck because they think confidence creates action. No, in reality, action creates confidence. You learn, you adjust, and you gain certainty by moving. And as I said, you want to move forward. So like, for example, nobody feels fully ready to start a business. Okay, there's always little things there that don't need to be done straight away. You take those initial steps, you start a business, you change careers or you invest in yourself. The people who move simply decide before they are ready. By that I mean they make that decision. I'm doing this. I'm going all in. And they invest in themselves. They change careers. They don't think, well, I'm going to get all this lined up first and then, 6 months later, now I'm ready. Because all those requirements would have changed and they're now behind where they needed to be. So you really got to look at, okay, to gain clarity, I need to make decisions. And by making decisions, then I'm becoming more confident in what I'm doing in moving forward. So clarity is not found in thinking longer. It's found in moving sooner. Right? A lot of people, about you don't want to miss the bus. A lot of people think, well, there's another bus in 20 minutes, I'll catch that one. But that other bus might take you in a different direction or in a way that's not really what you wanted to be doing. Yes, you're on the bus, it's just not the right bus. Okay. The last point I want to speak about is the fear of the wrong decision. This keeps people stuck. And I know this, again, these are things that I have done myself. Okay, I'm not putting anybody on the spot bar me. These are things that I know have held me back and which has impacted on my immediate family and around because your fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of not making things happen. People are so scared of making the wrong decision that they make no decision at all. And how is that going to benefit you? If you do not make a decision, again, we go back to that first meaning, you're going to make a decision by default. So no, you're not making that decision, but your surroundings are. Most decisions are not permanent. Right? You can pivot, you can adjust, you can learn, but time lost, sitting still, is one thing that you will never get back. Time is one of the most important commodities that we have, and You cannot get that back. What's happened yesterday happened yesterday. You can't go back and change that. What's going to happen tomorrow, you can change. How do you change that? By making the decisions you need to make today. So what is costing you more right now? Making the wrong decision or making no decision? I want you to sit with that, and I want you to think, how long have you been sitting on the fence or thinking about doing something or holding back? Because when you look at that, these are things that you control, nobody else. You control that. And when you don't make those decisions, you're giving your control to somebody else or something else. So I just want to leave you with a thought. Okay, your future changes the moment your decisions change. Right? So not when motivation arrives, not when life becomes easier, when you decide. When you make that decision, life changes. You know, a lot of people have been doing things for a long time in their lives and they're just used to it. You're thinking, well, if I change that now, if I do that, what are people going to think about me? How does that impact on me? What does, that is going to make different changes? It is. But listen to yourself. If these are things that you want, that you feel are your purpose, your desires, ask yourself, what is your why? Why do you want those things to change? Why do you look for these other alternatives? Because where you are right now is not serving you. Okay, it's just something you're doing. So take that thought, take those 3 questions and ask yourself there, A, are you making decisions by default? If you made a decision, will you have clarity? And yes, you're going to have a fear of something, fear of failing, fear of success, fear of what people are going to say. But at the end of the day, you are going to be able to move from where you are now, feeling stuck, into something better. So I wish you all a good day. Keep those thoughts. If you've got any questions, please write them in the comments. I want to answer them. If you're stuck, let me know if there's something that I can do to help you. I'd love to be able to help you. So take care, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.